How do you get in the mind of the client? How do you understand what their situation is so that when you talk to them, you're talking in terms of their challenge, in terms of their industry, in terms of their terminology. This is a big one because you're being brought in to help fix what they don't know is wrong. The first thing he asks is, well, what do you think is wrong? And they're like, we don't know what's wrong. People aren't coming in, that's what's wrong. They're not coming into my restaurant. Well, there's obviously a reason why they're not coming in, but the people just can't see it. So you have to kind of dig down in to find out why. Why is there trouble areas, and how can you address those areas? The team leads, those are all people in management and decision-making positions, okay? Yes, they're all stakeholders, but there are also the people who are impacted by those decisions. It's the end consultants. It's the people in the marketing team. It's the people in the finance team that have to get the expense reports and they're not quite right because you don't have the right technology in place. It's people that are all supporting the whole model. How do you make change happen? Communication is the key. So I like putting a communication plan so people understand where the information is coming, where the information is, or even like what's not on here is how long the information will be available. Really big on the communication, keeping people in the loop. So this is where the get in the mind of the client, okay? How do you get the information about the organization? It's really a holistic view of what your organization does and how do you do it and who does it and when does it happen, and if you don't do it, why don't you do it, so forth and so on. The more that you can relate to the customer situation, the more that they'll give you, right? The more information they'll give you. But you get all this great information in your head. You're talking to all these people. They have the workshop where you have like 35 people on the phone or in person. You have these one-on-ones with pages and pages and pages of notes. And then it comes to the readout section where you want to be able to say, here's what we heard. Here's the information to justify that, the metrics behind that, and then of course the recommendations afterwards. I know explanations are good, but numbers speak volume. Every challenge has more than one solution, right? There's always more than one way to do something. So identify all those options. Most of the time they've hired you for your advice and your expertise, so your recommendation will most likely be sound and they'll accept it, as long as there's proof behind it. But typically you're brought in not just from your strategy, but also from your experience and also from your ability to focus on their end result and their end goal. So you're either part of the team or you become sort of the ad hoc leader of the team to get the initiation going. To get in the mind of the client, you have to understand the client, and it's going to only be done through hard work, through interview processes, and making sure that you have a clear standing with the customer on, this is how I'm going to do it, and then you do it, and then you present at the end, and then you can engage with them afterwards. Using tools and technology is great. Templates, even better. Communication, number one. Communication is always the best way to get things going down the path. Again, my name is Jodi Cicci. I run a company called Top Step Consulting, and I very much appreciate your attention and attending the session, especially when so many other good choices are out there. So I hope you're able to take something away. Thank you very much.
I thought it was really terrific. She got to the heart of what I think is one of the key problems in her area, and that's what I call the one-armed fisherman problem. You know, the problem is this big. Well, excuse me, let's have a point of reference. And I thought she did a pretty good job of really wrapping all that up and putting it in a tangible format.